My friends, I'm very lucky to say a Patuxent recording artist, Darren Beachley, and the Legends of Potomac. Welcome to Sudzin Country, everybody.
It's good to be here. All right, good to be here.
You guys have, we just figured it out, 150 years between all of you guys playing?
Well, as Mike said, what? Doing what? We didn't know exactly.
Yeah. We'll let it go at that. Doing what? I guess at 150 years, not too far doing what?
About 150 years, yeah, something like that.
How did you guys all get, well, first of all, introduce everybody.
Well, I'm Darren Beachley. This is a legendary Tom Gray on bass. We got Norman Wright on the mandolin, Mike Aldridge on the dobro, and Mark Delaney on the 5-string banjo.
There you go. How did you get, you're responsible for this.
Yeah, I'm the crazy one.
You're the man that said Darren Beachley.
Yeah, and it also says on there, crazy guy that made the phone calls. That's
there you
me.
go.
So,
how'd you pick this crew?
Well, actually, these guys are all, at one point or another, you know, when I sit in a rehearsal room, it's really crazy because all these guys are directly responsible for my music, what I do, why I do music today. Tom was a bass player with the Seldom Scene, of course, and I used to follow him around and try to learn to play bass. And then Norman, I went to work for him for 10 years with the Travelers in the early 90s. And then Mike, of course, I stalked him for about 6 years, trying to learn to play the dobro. And then, and then Mark and I, actually, as kids, we grew up more or less playing together. About 16, 17 years old, started playing together. So when you sit in a rehearsal with these guys, we've all somehow or another have all been directly related, just not as a band. And so I made a couple phone calls, and this is what we wound up with.
They're all available?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. There you go. What kind of album you have out now? I saw an album there. Did you have a Legends of Potomac CD?
That's a brand new single that we have out called Love You Don't Know Cannot Hurt You, and it's a song that was written by Brad Davis and Paula Breedlove. And the first time we heard that, we kind of liked it just a little bit, didn't we, guys? You think? Yeah. So it's.
I want to play that song.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Wow.
So you know, when you hear one like that, you got to grasp a hold of it pretty quick. So we, as fast as we could grab it up and get it recorded, we did that.
Now, how long has the Legends been together as a group?
Since January of since this year, January.
Brand new. Who are you influenced by, other than these guys?
Well, I was going to say you're looking at them, so it's pretty much self-explanatory. That and the music of Doyle Lawson, you know, that pretty much. But all these guys, as I said, directly had something to do with what I do today.
And you traveled with this man back in
for 10 years. Yeah, I spent 10 years with Norman in 1 month, and no, I spent 10 years with him with the Travelers. It was
like
wonderful.
That in 1 month,
and you know, a lot of people, you know, want to give a lot of credit to my singing ability with Doyle, you know, but this guy right here has taught me as much about singing as anybody.
No kidding.
He knows it. He knows how to get it out of you, and he knows what to do with it. So
he makes you sing, huh?
Oh yeah, he'll get it out of you.
So what was the lesson you learned from this guy over the years? What was the one lesson you learned? What?
How to keep my hair dark.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, but he taught me how to do it. He didn't say he had to do it.
Don't practice as I but it's
no, just you know, take your craft very serious and really rehearse it and practice it and get it to where it needs to be.
You were Maryland County line? Maryland line?
Maryland line.
Maryland line.
Mm-hmm.
And you joined Doyle Lawson, and now you are here, huh?
I'm here.
Yeah. You were with Bill Harrell and the Virginians.
I did do some fill-in work with Bill Harrell and the Virginians. I went out with him a couple times.
Cardinals?
Bluegrass Cardinals was my first band.
Wow. They were good in their day.
Started in, I think the first time I was with them twice, and the first time for about a month in '79, and then back again in late '80.
They were good in their day.
Oh, they were great. While I was there, it was before I knew music was a business.
Yeah.
And we just recorded anything that we liked and suffered the consequences, you know. But still, I think it's some of the best music that's been out there to date because it was so original, so different.
Yeah.
Like the Seldom Scene. That
I was just going to say, you guys were Seldom Scene was close behind. You were ahead of you guys. You're neck to neck.
Well, they made the money. We just played. Well, they perfected it. We were out there just slugging. But that was a great time. And Darren gives us a lot of credit for his ability, but I can tell you something. He's the one that has the business mind, the game plan, and the tenacity to stick with this and develop what he wanted to do in life. I mean, he's had his goals when I first met him, and he's been continuously working towards that goal. And I hope it goes a lot farther than this.
Oh, it will.
For all of us, you know.
I've played your music for years and years and years with a couple going way back to old Mike Aldridge.
Mike.
Seldom Scene. And
oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, this, again, this,
Somebody hold that for him, will you?
Mark's
There you
going to
go.
be doing all the talking.
well, we're giving you a few words here, Mike, with the seldom scene. You were, what made you go with the, how did the seldom scene come about in those days?
Oh, the seldom scene. It happened quite by accident, actually. We all ended up at a party together and playing music, and Ben Eldridge and I were with Cliff Waldron at that point. And we met Duffy at this party. Well, we knew him, but he was at this party, and we played a little music together, and we thought, you know, we could probably have a band with this. So we said, yeah, let's try it. Had no idea it would ever do anything, you know. We just did it for fun for a couple of weeks, and the next thing we knew, people were bringing their own chairs to this club we played in. It was so crowded, because Duffy had retired from the Country Gentleman, I guess, a couple of years before that. And it just kind of took off.
Wow. But you guys played some great music.
Well,
A
thanks.
little different too.
Yeah, you know, Norman was saying
before,
he played, those, the Cardinals played what they wanted to play and they didn't care. Well, that's what we did. We didn't care whether anybody bought our records. We all had jobs,
There you go.
know. And if we didn't make it in the music business, it was, you know, who
Fun
cared?
anyway.
But luckily, it was just kind of a magical combination of personalities and abilities and stuff that came together, and it worked out fine. And because I lost my job about 5 years later and never looked back.
No kidding. You've been full time for a lot of years.
Yeah, I think I was like 36 years old or something.
Do you have a nickname, Larry the Legend?
Oh, that's
Ledge.
Ledge, right? That's Duffy, I think.
Oh,
came
gave
up
that
with
to
that, yeah.
Legend, thank you.
His legendship, right?
Mr. Clean. There's a bunch of them. There's tons of them. Trying to get an
Your
head.
grandfather?
Yeah, my grandfather played banjo. He was a clawhammer guy,
Okay.
and I was just hypnotized by it. I mean, 2, 3 years old, I'd sit on the floor watch him play. And I was about 9 years old and said I want a banjo, and I got a banjo, and
There you
I
go.
never looked back. I have a CD out,
Yeah,
and I
solo
called it
project.
Sidecar.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. Where'd that come from, the motorcycle?
From the motorcycle.
Who'd you record with?
Randy Waller and the Country Gentlemen,
Nice.
good deal bluegrass band. Recently, Wayne Taylor in Appaloosa. I'm on his new CD project. I played with him over the winter until we started getting rolling with this.
Who were your influences? How did you get to playing the string bass going, you know, whenever that started?
My influence, George Shuffler, just saw him here
Yeah.
in the convention hall. He was so aggressive the way he played with the Stanley Brothers back in the 50s. So when I started playing, I wanted to play like George. And of course, I was very fortunate when John Duffy asked me to join the Country Gentlemen.
Wow.
I was 19 years old, and I'd been trying to play like George Shuffler, and John said he wanted me to do that. So I joined the Country Gentlemen and did that with them.
How was it to play Carnegie Hall?
Oh, that was cool.
That had to be.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh
Had to be.
yeah, the
That
place
pretty
had
much
such
summed it
a
up.
That sounded cool.
it had such a
That says it all.
reputation as the ultimate acoustic hall where you
Exactly.
could hear
Still is.
anything. So we got there first.
Yeah.
Early in the day, I was still in Country Gentleman.
Yeah.
I was maybe 20 years old, and Eddie Adcock said, I want to see if it's true. Can you really hear every sound? So he went up to the top of the 5th balcony.
Yeah,
I think
I've
there are
been
5
there. I've been up
balconies.
in that 5th
And
balcony.
he said, take a guitar pick, drop it on the stage. I want to see if
Wow.
I can hear it from up there.
Yeah.
You heard it, and so you can hear every sound.
A little bitty guitar pick. Huh?
Yeah, a little guitar
Yeah,
pick,
yeah.
light little thing. In those days, they were all tortoise shell.
They built it right.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Built it
the
right
whole.
with the acoustics, yeah.
So we played there as part of a sing out
Yeah.
folk music concert.
Well, I'm going to wrap this up. We need a website. Who's going to, Darren?
It's legendsofthepotomac.com.
There you go. Don't make it any easier than that.
That's about as easy as you can get.
Yes, buddy.